Yo, what's up guys, my name is Severman and today I will show you how to make a beautiful progressive house melody like Martin Garrix, Ain't Letting You Down, Our Time or Mistaken. I've remade all of those three right here in the piano roll. Let's check those out and then I will show you guys how to make something like that from scratch. Let's go. So what all those three melodies have in common, and what Garrix does in a lot of his tracks, is he uses a lot of dotted eighth notes, which is those notes right here. And then structure-wise, most melodies have this A, B, A, C pattern. This is something that I've already explained in an older video of mine. So for example, if we take a look at Our Time, we got the A part here, this is the B part, and then we're repeating the A part. So if I copy and paste those notes, you can see they match exactly the A part. And then we have the C part here, which is basically the B part. It just has this variation here at the end. Or if you take a look at Mistaken, same story here. This is the A part, same thing as here. So that's repeating A here. Then we got the B part here, and then C at the end. And also here, C is based off of B, with the only difference is that at the end, in the last bar, Garrix is going up, and that's also something he does in a lot of his tracks, is at the end he goes up in order to create some sort of final to the melody. If we take a look at Ain't Letting You Down, here it's a little bit different. As I said, like not every single track is like that, but most of them here it's a bit different, but it still has a certain structure. So you could say, okay, if this is A, then this would usually be B. And here we would have A again, but as you can see, it's a bit different. So for example, if I copy and paste those, lay them over here, that just took those notes down here and brought them up in order to create some variation here in the second half. And then also here in bars 7 and 8, they're going up as well. Right, so if you take this, copy that over here, what you can tell is what they did. They actually put them one full octave higher here, with the exception that the last two notes, sorry, the last three actually are the same ones again. And so, for example, if you look at the chords, I always start with the foundation, like the bass progression, the bass notes, and then I start building the chords based off of the bass notes. So it goes do 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 do. And so the upper harmonies of the chords are all based off of this bass progression. Alright guys, so let's take all of this technical knowledge that we've just went through and make practical use of it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stick to this same key that they're using Ain't Letting You Down and in Our Time. So for example, what we could do is with the bass notes, dun 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 dun, something like this. And notice how I'm using the dotted eighth notes here. And then, for example, place two of those right here, two of eighth notes, regular ones. Dun 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 dun. Go up to the B. Dun 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 dun. And then to create variation, we could keep that one a quarter note. And then go down here. Dun 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 dun. It'll be F sharp. Let me increase this a little so we can see the notes. And then up to C sharp. I'm gonna copy and paste that here into the second half. And then what we could try is adding maybe one little variation here in that second half. For example, going up to A sharp here. And then this way we have some variation in the second half. Okay, now how do we actually build the chords? Very simple. So first of all, what I always do is, the first thing is I grab the bass progression. I just put it an octave higher. And what I do now is I copy and paste the bass progression again. And now I count 7 semitones up from the G sharp here. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put those here. And now in order to create a full chord, we need to find the third harmony. How do we do that? Again, we grab the progression and now we count up either 3 or 4 semitones from the G4 in this case, the root note. Now you can see on the second chord, it doesn't work. So what we're gonna do is grab the D. You can do that by, some people wonder how to do that. Sometimes hold Control or Command on Mac and then just press the D here in the piano roll on the side. Then it selects all of the Ds in the piano roll. And then bring it up to D sharp. Same thing here with the A. Bring that up 1 semitone. And same thing with the E as well. And one more thing, again, when we take a look at Garrix chords, what you can tell is they're all quite, like the upper harmonies are all quite in the same range. So that's something that I do in my tracks as well. Or what I generally recommend is try to keep the upper harmonies in a similar range. So for example, we could do here, grab the F sharp, bring it up an octave. And then what I like to do is add one more harmony on top of each chord. The C sharp here sounds really nice. And then maybe go down A sharp and then back to the C sharp. Yeah, that sounds really awesome. Very beautiful, emotional. What if we got the G sharp, put it an octave higher? Oh yeah. We could try some variation here as well. Nice. Amazing. And now we just need the melody on top. Now this is all up to your own creativity. Obviously just make sure you're using notes that are part of the scale. Maybe try something like dun, 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 dun. Yes, and then dun, dun. So this would be the A part. Now here we're doing the B part. Dun, dun, dun. You know what? Let me solo this. Dun, dun. Maybe keep going on the A sharp. Dun, 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 dun. Go down to the G sharp. Dun, dun, dun. So we got A, we got B, grab this, put A here again, right? And then the C part at the end, and as I said before, what Garrix does a lot, at the end he goes up with his melodies. Dun, 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 dun. So we could try something like this. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay guys, so I'm gonna show you the result now. I've also layered a guitar to the melody just to show you what you could kind of do with this idea. Also, my Black Friday bundle is still up and running this week. Check it out. Second link in the description contains all of the 26 FLPs from my Gumroad store. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Here's the result.